Contingency. Do you think a hurricane, planning for a hurricane, is contingency? Let me tell you exactly what's going on in baseball because it's an absolute cluster. An inexcusable cluster. MLB's been dealing with hurricanes since the beginning of time. For 18 years, 2 of which in Montreal, 16 in Florida, dealt with hurricanes for 16 seasons. We're in touch with the commissioner. We're in touch with the scheduling people, the labor department, the on-field operations department. We're not in touch 24 hours before a hurricane comes. It's a hurricane, for crying out loud. It's not like we're on a fault line. Man, I don't know. There could be an earthquake right now. What's our contingency plan for the earthquake? Well, if there's an earthquake and we got to check, we got to call in the engineers and we got to check to make sure the ballpark isn't falling apart. We're going to have everyone stand in the doorway and then we're going to run around and hope for the best. All right, good plan. Put that in the drawer and we'll wait for something to shake. No, hurricanes are different. For those of you who know, you know. They start making you worry about hurricanes 10 days in advance. Hey, we got some action in the tropics. Look out. Look at that little cone of death that's coming toward you. Oh, we don't know. We've got 17 spaghetti strand models. We've got the European model. We've got the American model. We've got the mixed model. We've got this, that, the other thing. One of them goes right there through second base. 10 days, 9 days, 8 days. You know, the Braves and Mets have a huge series. I heard him talk about it on Nothing Personal. It was this Tuesday through Thursday series, and their season series was tied. And as you know, there's no more game 163, and the first tiebreaker is head-to-head. Oh, my God, this is an important series for the Mets-Braves because they're both quite in the playoff race. Literally. It could come down to them being tied for the third wild card, which means the winner of the Braves series against the Mets in Atlanta on Tuesday through Thursday, that's going to decide a playoff spot. Hey, any update on Helene? What do we got? Anything? Oh, it's not looking good. It's looking like 9 inches of rain in Atlanta. Oh, you mean just tomorrow? That's just coming up now, right? We didn't know anything about that. Are you kidding me? Major League Baseball announced yesterday at about, I don't know, I got the call, what was it, Coca from CBS at 5 to go on and give my view of this postponement. Was it 5:30 p.m.? Not only was last night's game between the Braves and Mets rained out, but tonight's game was rained out en avance, in advance. That's something that only would happen in a hurricane situation. Well, a couple other tragic situations, but mostly in a hurricane situation, you get back-to-back jacks. All right, what do we do? Well, we have no other choice. We've got the Mets who are running to my favorite city in the Midwest. We've got the Royals. Those games matter. They're coming to Hotlanta. I guess we have an off day Monday. Yes, we have an off day. Wait a minute. Let me go through this because obviously this is something baseball I haven't thought about. There's an off day after the season on Monday, September 30th, which is the day before the wild card series starts. And as we know, the wild card series is 3 days in a row, no off days, no travel, all in one city. So there's an off day. We could just play a doubleheader on the off day. What? Let me take it step by step. Monday, September 23rd was 3 days ago. Do you know that both the Braves and the Mets had an off day on Monday, the 23rd, when they could have played because they already knew the forecast was crap and that they were going to have problems getting the full series in? This didn't sneak up on them. They didn't need to do a full contingency plan. They needed to say, wait a minute, we're going to move up the series to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, Atlanta doesn't want to do it. Don't care. Atlanta's not in charge. A little misunderstanding going around the media circles and fans' chat rooms. It doesn't matter that Atlanta didn't want to play Monday, the 23rd. It didn't matter that Atlanta didn't want to move the time of yesterday's game to before the rain was going to come. They're not in charge. Major League Baseball is in charge. They could have called up Atlanta, called up the Mets, and said, "Hi, Alex. Hi, David. Your series will now be Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday." They could have done a doubleheader Tuesday and one game Monday. End of series were GTG. Atlanta may have said to MLB, "No, we don't want to miss the great gate. We've got 3 great gates." You do? What are the 3 great gates? Is it the gates of heaven in the middle of a 9-inch storm? MLB could have imposed its will and changed the schedule so they're not in the position where the New York Mets have to fly to Milwaukee, then fly back to Atlanta. Then if they're in the playoffs, either fly back to Milwaukee, talk about frequent flyer, the pilots, talk about autopilot, or they could end up having to fly to San Diego or LA, but I think LA win the division. But either way, they have to fly either to the Midwest or West starting Tuesday. Check back into the Fister for a couple days.